everyone, I'm Brittany Broski, and welcome back to the official TikTok For You podcast. This episode is powered by Truth and the growing wave of young people quitting vaping. I'm looking at you. Let's get into the episode. Hi, Miss Abby.
Hi, Miss Brittany.
How you doing? Are you doing fine?
I'm good. I'm so excited to talk to you today, actually.
I'm so excited for you to be on here. You were one of my top picks for guests because
Really?
I've followed you for forever. You were one of the
Same.
first creators that I really saw pop off. And I was thinking about the first time that I ever saw you, and it was the Queen of Hearts look that you did with the
Yes.
white contacts.
Oh
That was like
my God.
summer 19.
Throwback, yeah, 100%.
Throwback, very much OG. And so I'm thinking you and I have probably been on the app for about the same amount of time.
Yeah, I mean, I've been following you literally since you first like blew up with the kombucha, everything. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Well, I wanted to do like a deep dive into, where we're coming from, where we're going, and just kind of, let's get into the tea of what this job really is and where you want to take it and who you are, how it's defined you. And
let's get into it.
So you ready to jump in?
I'm ready, love.
So let's start with your beginning. Tell us about where you started, where your passion for makeup came from. Let's hear it.
Oh, it's a long story. Okay, so I've been doing makeup since I was 11. Like I actually started on YouTube, and I did Charlotte's makeup, my sister, for like my first
Charlotte Roberts did.
Charlotte Roberts. And that kind of like got quite a lot of views initially. It got like 700,000 views, and like as an 11-year-old, I was like, oh my God, that's insane. Like I thought it was so viral. It was sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was like my first taste of like a little bit of internet fame,
For sure.
It was fun. And then I kind of started doing makeup because I was watching like a lot of YouTubers, Nikki Tutorials, Jacqueline Hill, like all the OGs and everything. The OGs way back when. And I started like posting on Instagram. It's probably, I've been posting on Instagram since I was like 13, 14. But that didn't start really getting successful until, was it 3 years ago? Summer like 2018, James Charles found me. And that was like what blew it up for me. Do you remember he used to do these things called like sister takeovers, sister story takeovers?
Where he would, the up and coming makeup artist.
Yeah, exactly. And he like reached out to me because I had started this Instagram eye trend, which was like this makeup look trend a few years back, and he recreated it and loved it, and then reached out to me and asked me to be on his story, which little me, I was like freaking out about. I was like, it's this house. I was so buzzing. He was like one of my favorite people to watch, and still is. Like I love him so much. He's amazing. Wow. That was what blew me up, and then I was maybe 100k, 200k on Instagram until I joined TikTok in January 2019. And that's where everything changed. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so knowing that was kind of, where you're coming from, walk us through what you actually, like the process for creating, because I know we all have our different processes. Sometimes it's laying in bed, opening the camera, filming and posting. But for, creatives like you, where it is such a process to plan out the look, figure out audience engagement, do they like this better? Do they like this better? So what's kind of your process there?
It's a lot of preparation. I'm not gonna lie. I think people think that like, oh yeah, you're just a makeup artist. You just I do a look and then
there's no such thing as just a makeup artist.
Never. So, I mean, I take it really seriously. I have like a full-on schedule. I don't know if you know, I live with Benji now, and we're in London. Yeah, we have our like little whiteboard, and we have lists of ideas, content ideas that we like wake up and look at every day.
Wow.
So we like go about choosing content like that, and always just looking on TikTok and like everywhere. Yeah. Pop culture is like where I tend to go to a lot for like inspiration and stuff, because I feel like people really react well to it.
Yeah.
It just like is what is going to make you trending, especially if you're a makeup artist anyways. So I always looked at that for inspiration. But in terms of like the process of coming up with a look, there's like props, buying the outfits,
you make a lot of the outfits, don't you?
I do. Yeah. Well, Charlotte is more of like the fashionista, I guess.
Right.
She's better at that sort of stuff. But I used to make like a lot of my own props, especially when I was first starting out, because like I didn't have any money to go and buy stuff. So
and it's also just a hobby. Like, why would you invest hundreds of dollars for like a TikTok video until it becomes like, oh, this is what I do for a living?
A career. Yeah,
absolutely.
Like definitely in this past year since it's become my career, it's been so much easier to just like be able to buy stuff. But for sure, in the beginning, I would like make stuff out of like paper and anything I could get my hands on.
Sure. So, what's been probably the most successful? Would you consider it a form of cosplay? Some of it definitely is.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even like consider it that until TikTok, because I never was like really exposed to the cosplay community, I guess. But I did like some anime looks, which I for sure think is more cosplay, like the kakegurui stuff. But yeah, I think some of it is, but it's more of an exaggerated version of cosplay. It's more detailed and more glam, that kind of stuff.
So let's move on to the more modern age, not so much, your humble beginnings, but you've worked with, you've Liam Payne, Youngblood. How was that? Did you pee and poop a little bit? Just a little.
Oh my god. Okay, the first time I met Liam, I was so nervous because I was like such a directioner when I was like 12. I had a Zayn Malik life-size cutout. I had the One Direction merch, like all the shirts and everything. I was obsessed. So yeah, it was really quite intimidating first meeting Liam, but it's so chill. And I think like since meeting all these celebrities and stuff, it's like everyone's just normal people. It's literally like no issue anymore. It's like meeting TikTokers and stuff for the first time. It's really weird. It's like, oh my god, you are this tall in real life, and I didn't even imagine.
When you sit down, you have to have a conversation with them, and you're like, oh, you're kind of awkward. It's so humbling.
Oh my god, yeah. And then working with Youngblood, we've like become really good friends since as well. He lives like down the road from me.
You're Manchester girls, or you're Yorkshire.
Yorkshire.
Yeah.
Yes, love.
Did you like my Charlotte impression? I need to do an impression of you later.
I want one. I was like, me next to.
She said, "I've got my sword." I love it. So just beyond sort of the normal celebrity, would you say that you freak out more with like those sort of A-list talent, or have you ever met another creator that you were like, wow, like holy?
Oh, I remember the first time I ever met Charlie.
Yeah.
It was like literally a year ago when she was like first blowing up, and I was in LA, and I went to the Hype House and I saw the Hype House bathroom in person for the first time, and it was so weird. And I was like, oh my god, the floor is a carpet, and I'm like, this soggy ass carpet.
Disgusting.
It was so funny. But yeah, seeing her in person and seeing like people's height, I think, is always what catches me off guard. Like Charlie was so short and cute, and I was like, oh my god, she's like this little 15-year-old kid when I first met her. And it's crazy to like,
what an insane pressure. Yeah. Because I know you can probably relate to this of like being a young person online. Like we definitely feel that pressure to impact change, but also like people look up to us, but also it's like, oh my god, I'm 18. Like who am I? What am I doing online? So for Charlie, it's like, what?
People put so much pressure on young influencers to be able to like set this example and know exactly who you are at 15, 16 years old. And I think it's ridiculous, like the amount of hate that they get. People just want to find a reason to cancel somebody. And there's so much more to life than like picking on these social media kids.
Oh, literally.
It's ridiculous.
Well, so you've mentioned in the past about trying to figure out who you are and how that, interacts with being online and being a public figure online. Yeah. So would you say that TikTok has helped you, on this identity journey of expressing yourself and finding out what you really like, what you feel pressured to be? Like, how do you feel about yourself from being online?
That's a really good question, actually. Yeah. So identity is kind of something that I struggle with a lot personally, just because the way I grew up, like doing all these makeup looks for so many years, and I felt like I invested so much time into doing these looks and these personas and these characters. I kind of like neglected myself and never like spent time to try and figure out who I was. So I had like so many phases. I've had like every phase you can possibly imagine.
Oh, I
The
love those
emo,
videos.
the
You go through
chat,
all of them.
like the British girl, full on. Like I was everything.
I'm
You
a
name
Manchester
it.
girl.
But yeah, it's been a struggle, and like I made a makeup look and like a whole TikTok video like talking about the identity. I like wrote all these words across my face of like everything that I've been labeled with, because it's a lot of pressure like figuring out who you are when you're still a kid and still growing as a person online, publicly, in front of everyone, having all your phases in front of everyone
and being judged in front of everyone.
Yeah, but yeah, it's still something that I'm like really passionate about talking about, is identity. And recently I started working on music, which has kind of been helping me with that as well, writing about that kind of stuff. And I feel like I'm getting there. I feel like I'm kind of finding my style recently.
Oh, I love. And it's also, I mean, and you can kind of see it in your merch and things like that, where it's so uniquely you, and it perfectly captures this sort of subculture. Oh, I love, because you were an artiste before. I'm literally an Abbey Artistry stan. This is embarrassing. I'm like, and you did this, and you did this.
She knows her research.
Oh, dude. But those videos that you posted of your old portfolios from school, I live. She would post these literally like of the progression of her art style from being in school and what she would have to submit to your professors or your teachers, and how it's evolved. And it is so immaculate to see that translated onto your face as living art. And it is just, I'm such a fan. Wow.
Yeah, because I was always like an artist on paper before I ever went on to makeup. Like I don't remember a time where I wasn't doing art as a kid, and did it all through school, did it in A levels and everything. A level kind of like sucked my passion away from doing art on paper, and I was like, I'm sick of this, and I would rather do it on my face instead.
Well, let's kind of get into that, because burnout is a thing. And being a creative and do you hold yourself to a really rigid posting schedule?
I aim for like 3 posts a day on TikTok, and on Instagram. On Instagram, I used to try and post once a day as well, but like you said, burnout is a real thing, and
that's mental, babes.
It's
3
mental.
TikToks a day.
Yeah, I try and aim for that. I'm not always successful, especially recently. Like I've been so busy doing stuff outside of social media.
Sure, yeah.
But I just haven't had time, and not gonna lie, it's been really having its toll on my mental health lately. But we get through it. We move.
Yeah, or something. Well, so beyond that, you know, kind of how do you deal with just not having ideas, not being motivated to post? Like what's a rut that you get into? Because everyone has different.
Yeah, I think I used to really freak out about that when I like wouldn't have any ideas for makeup, because I would be like, oh my god, everyone's gonna hate me if I don't post anything that's just makeup related. But then I started posting more stuff that's like personality or just like a vlog of the day or whatever, and people liked it, and I was like, oh my god. So now I try and just post a bit of what I want rather than feeling so restricted to just like makeup content, which is great.
I love that. That's such a blessing, sort of, to be, you know, not only recognized for your talent, but also people just love you as a person.
Yeah,
that's so endearing.
That was like what I wanted for so long, because like creators like yourself, you are 100% personality, and it's like everyone just loves you for you from the beginning, which must feel amazing, I bet.
It's weird for sure, because it's like, you know, we've always been like this. So to have it be on a public platform and to have it to this scale is just like, well, damn. I would have known I could have done this a long time ago. I would have. Why did I go to school? Why did I have a job? Stay in school, for whoever's listening to this. Please stay in school.
It's good to drop out. It's not good to drop out. It's okay to drop out. It's okay to drop out if you have a plan, and if you're like set on doing something that isn't education based. So for me, I was like, I don't want to go to university. It's not going to help me with my makeup stuff or social media. Like, what are they going to tell me that I don't already know or can learn myself? But if you're just dropping out and then don't have like a long-term plan after that, I think that's where there's an issue.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing too. And if you're not financially stable, don't take the risk. You know, like I always say this of like, if all this were to go away tomorrow, I fully anticipated, because like the kombucha meme went viral. I didn't plan on making money off of it at all. Like monetizing it, I didn't really plan on it. I was like, oh, this is just a thing and it's going to die out and I'm going to be done. The fact that I've managed to kind of keep a momentum going is crazy. But like, if all this were to go away tomorrow, I have a college degree. I have real life work experience. I worked a 9 to 5 before this. Like there is a way that I could go back into real life. And I hate to see these young kids who are just like, I want to be a YouTuber, and they just don't plan for their future at all, throw all the money they have into YouTube, and then it doesn't take off as soon as they would hope. And it's like, I want to help, but it's like, you did this.
I think if you have like a talent, you have a drive, you have like a direction, like in my mind, I have like my next 5 to 10 years planned out. So I'm like, we're good. I know where I'm going. I'm very like business driven and very focused on like my career and stuff. But I think for a lot of people, they just like the fun of it. They like the money, and then they spend all the money on all the designer, and it can just go away so quickly, and people don't realize just how fickle it can be.
If you're struggling with quitting vaping, Truth can help you do it. Maybe you've been thinking about doing it to save money, or because you're just over it and want to get healthy. This is Quitting from Truth is a text-to-quit service that offers real support from real people who have quit. Sure, quitting can be hard, but you won't be alone. Hundreds of thousands of people have already signed up. So to learn more, all you got to do is text Ditch Vape to 88709. What are you waiting for? Get on it. Well, was there a pressure for you from, your parents, from, your audience to stay in school? Did you have any backlash from that?
My parents actually were just like, as long as you're happy, like you can do whatever you want. And if you're happy doing this career, which I was obviously like so passionate about, they were like, we want to do everything we can to help you. I don't know if you know, but my dad is like so involved in my fandom, and he'll like go and reply to all of the comments. My mum as well, Mama Roberts, everyone knows her.
No.
Like actually very early in my career, my dad used to be my manager as well, and
how was that?
It was intense.
Yeah,
it was intense. Like he was a good manager, but sometimes you just don't want to cross that like family business boundary. Like it got to a point where it felt like he was just my manager, and it was like stressing me out so much.
Yeah, it's like, are you willing to give up that familial relationship for business? And like, no.
It kind of like impacted our relationship, and I was like, it's time to take a step back. I got management at the start of this year, and it has made things so much easier. He still kind of like oversees everything because he's very protective of that. Like it took us a long time to build this, and he still obviously wants to be really involved in that as well, which is good. I'm really glad that I've got his support.
Well, beyond that, I mean, like having a team, that's a whole other thing too. If you want to talk about that, of like, people to negotiate the business side of it. It's a whole subculture that people don't understand, of like, when you get to that level where you have the check mark, you have the millions, you have this, that, and the other, but you ain't making no money. It's like sometimes there's a lot that goes down behind closed doors that makes creating and being a creative so much more stressful, because you're dealing with that business stuff. So I can't even imagine having your dad, be in the middle of it. Did it strain your relationship at all?
Yeah, I really think it did, because it started off, I was doing everything myself. I would do all my own emails, all my own business stuff. And I thought I could handle it. Like I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the business side of things. I enjoyed answering my emails and getting to do all these exciting like opportunities and stuff. But my dad already ran his own business and like knew how to do that side of things. So he's always like kind of been a bit of a guardian with that anyways.
Yeah.
So he stepped in like August 2019. Because that was when it started getting really crazy for me.
Yeah.
And
that was the golden age of TikTok.
That was the golden age of TikTok.
I miss her.
But yeah, as we were like working together, it was good until the work started getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and working with these high profile brands who expect you to have an entire team to deal with. Like,
here's me dad.
And I'm like, here's my dad. He's not really a manager, but he tries. He's my dad.
Well, you said that your parents are really involved with your audience. They'll respond to comments and stuff like that. Yeah. My mom tried that, and I said, stop. said this. You're not gonna do all this
She
because
getting too involved.
she'll find the hate comments and she'll respond to the hate comments, and then
Oh,
she's
my dad does
fighting.
that. He starts
Literally,
arguments. He starts arguments.
it's like, for what? You're doing that for what? They love it. They're like, how dare you say that about my daughter? I'm like, Mom, you have to just let it go. It's not worth your energy. Like, they're looking for a rise out of both me, and now they're getting one out of you, and that's even better. So, but on this topic of audience, how close are you with your audience? Do you recognize some by name? Because your following is massive now. So how do you kind of deal with that?
I think I do know my following by name somehow. Like, more of my Twitter stans, I communicate with a lot. I respond to them in tweets and stuff. I try to kind of stay out of getting so involved that I'm like in group chats, because I think that can sometimes get really toxic, and the fans can sometimes feel too close to you, and it can cause a bit of a strange relationship where boundaries are overstepped. And I think that's something that people don't really talk about a lot as well.
Absolutely,
is like boundaries with followers.
How about when you make a joke about yourself, or when you say something about yourself and then people take it and run? That's something that I've
if you say something about yourself, they can bully you for it as well.
Yeah. It's a very weird relationship of, for a lot of people, I get this comment a lot of like, I'm their comfort creator. When they're having a bad day, or when they're having, a stressful week, or something is just really off in their life, they turn to certain creators. And I have mine. Jenna Marbles used to be one of mine, of like the people that you just know it's going to be a good time when you go there. There is a weird relationship between, they think that, girl, y'all are besties, but like, I don't know you. And when you send me messages like that, hey, bitch, hey, you fat, ugly, whatever. It's like that. I have never met you, and I don't know that you're kidding. So it's a very, very odd relationship.
It can get really scary. So me and Benji, with our move recently, people figured out where we were living so quickly, and people were sending stuff to the apartment, sending letters, sending packages, and they were sweet. They were sweet messages. Thankfully, we didn't have anything nasty, but
that could have gone south so fast.
It could have gone south so fast, and they don't realize that there is some boundaries, and people showing up and asking for pictures at the place that you live in. It's just there's a place and time for that, and my home is not it.
It's not it. I'm glad you live with someone though, because if I as a single woman living alone, I would have been like, I have to move again.
Yeah,
sorry guys, bye.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, how do you do you feel a certain pressure to mobilize your audience when it comes to issues that you're passionate about? I know you're very passionate about mental health.
Yeah.
You touched on, this topic of identity and finding yourself online, and, all this sort of things. Are there any other topics that you're really passionate about that, you feel that you've impacted change online from?
Yeah, I think the LGBTQ plus community is something that I'm so passionate about. The way I got into my style of makeup and found my style was through drag. I learned all my techniques from drag artists. I know you love them as well.
Who are some of your favorite queens? Let's get into it.
I love Aquaria. I just think her makeup was my biggest inspiration for so long. Love Trixie. That. How can you not? Katya. God, yeah, I love all of them, and I went to so many RuPaul's Drag Race shows.
They love the UK.
Yeah, I would buy all the meet and greet tickets.
Oh God, they love the UK.
I were full on stan.
So beyond that, how do you just share a lot of mental health resources, or do you, kind of how do you? Because we all activate in different ways to, give to the causes that we care about. So how do you? What's specific to you?
Yeah, I try and share a lot of stuff on my Instagram stories. I think that's a great way to do things. I'm always sharing artists that I respect, or people with important messages to get out there as well. Twitter as well, I think, is great for sharing stuff like that.
Information for sure.
Yeah, and collaborations as well. I used to collaborate a lot more with people before I was at this level, but yeah, I used to work with a lot of smaller artists on Instagram all the time. We would just do stuff to help each other grow.
Do you prefer now? I mean, obviously, probably creating alone is more, you're in your element, you know what you're doing, but do you like collaborating with other creators or celebs better? What do you prefer?
I love it. I think creators, because
Yeah.
they are creative as well, and you completely just like bounce off of each other. I
Yeah.
mean, even celebrities as well, they're creative like in their own way. So it's
Sure.
interesting to like bounce ideas off of each other. But when you're with someone who understands the platform, another TikToker,
Yup.
it's just great. So like since me and Benji moved in, it's just we constantly like having ideas and bouncing things off each
Oh,
other.
I love that.
And that was like one of the biggest reasons for us moving, I think, just so we could like help each other out on
Yeah.
content. It's
Keep
great.
yourself accountable for posting and, you know,
Yeah,
laying
like
in bed.
you can get out of bed and post.
Literally. I love to lay in bed. I'm lucky that I can lay in bed and record, and that's my job.
I
I
love that
love to
for you.
lay. Well, do you would you say the platform, like if we're talking TikTok specifically, because I know we're both you and I are everywhere on the internet. Would you say it does a good job of supporting its creators, both like, you know, from a creative standpoint and opportunity wise? Because a lot of your opportunities have come from TikTok, right?
Yeah, I mean, out of any platform, I think TikTok does the best job of that. The team
I would
is
agree.
so responsive. If I have any problems, I'm like, what's going on here? And then I'll get a response like that day. Whereas for like other platforms, you'll reach out and just never hear back ever.
Yeah.
And like you said about the opportunities as well, like all these celebrity things and like the campaigns that I've been in with TikTok, that it starts on TikTok where I was like on the
Yep.
billboards and stuff. That all came from TikTok. So yeah, it's been amazing.
Yeah, I'm the same. And this isn't to be like, oh, the TikTok podcast. I love TikTok, but like we genuinely do. That's the
This
thing.
is
It's
so
like
cool that I'm so excited for this.
literally like to come from, you know, the app that has really given us everything, to be able to represent it in such a positive way is it's an honor really to have TikTok trust us like that. So,
It's just amazing.
well, could you give us some advice to the people listening? Do you have what's some of the best advice you've ever gotten for what you do and just in life in general, if you can think of something?
Gosh, off the top of my head.
Oh no, it's quite hard.
um,
How about just in the creative space? What's the best advice you've received?
in the creative space, don't pay attention to what anyone else is doing. Focus on what you want to do, what makes
Yup,
you happy, and don't just follow a trend because you think it's a trend.
yup.
It's what you do that's unique is what's going to make you stand out. So yeah.
I agree. There is such a pressure to, you know, keep with what's trending. And you do have to pay attention to that to a certain extent. But also, when you're doing your own thing, people will gravitate to that because it's
It's so
different.
true. Yeah, it's so true. It's what's brought me like all these unique opportunities is from
Absolutely.
not following what everyone else is doing. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, Abby, what is next for you here?
Ooh, lots of exciting things. I'm currently working on a lot of things like outside of social media as well. Like I said, I'm working on music right now
Yeah.
and
What's the
getting that
vibe? What's the
ready.
vibe? What
The
are we going for?
vibe, she's very indie alternative, a little bit
Is it Sad Girl, Billie
a little bit
Eilish?
sad girl, you know. I guess you can kind of guess from the aesthetic what it's gonna sound like.
I'm so excited. Um, this conspiracy theory that you are not British. And I am.
Oh, it's so funny. Oh, there's
Where
like
do you where did that come from?
there's an entire TikTok account that is dedicated to like proving the fact that I'm not British. They duet all my videos and they're like, she drinks matcha. That's not British.
Oh,
It's
they love it.
hilarious. But
That's
I
so
am very
funny.
much British, born and raised in Leeds, Yorkshire. Um,
Right, right.
but I don't know. I think because I didn't speak online for so long, people thought that I was American.
Yeah, I had no idea you were British until I think I posted that I was gonna be in the UK, like, way back when, and you were like, "You should come visit me," and I was like, "Why are
Really?
you in the UK? What are you doing here, babes? Like, what are you doing?" Well, can you give us one? Because I'm sure there are so many videos that don't make it to TikTok,
Mm.
right? What are some of the, like, worst fails you've had? What's something you've been really ambitious about and it just did not check out? Like, what happened?
Oh my god, dude, I don't even know where to begin. I have like 1,000 drafts. It's ridiculous. I'm not even over exaggerating. There is 1,000 drafts on my phone.
Oh my
Um,
god.
it'll just be like a look that I start and it just goes horribly wrong and I'm just like, nope. And then I never finish it. And then It sits in the drafts for months.
You ever cry? I cry
I
sometimes.
cry all the time. I cry mid-lip constantly. Like trying to do my eyeliner. I'm like, now is not the time.
Crying while doing makeup is a different kind of suffering. No, I feel like everyone who loves makeup has gone through that of trying to apply face powder or mascara through tears is a different experience.
That's not the one.
What is your favorite look you've probably ever done?
Favorite look? I think the one you said, the Queen of Hearts with like the checkers. I love that one so much because it was like the look that blew me up. So I'm like, it has a special place in my heart.
Love that. And then you did a Tiger King look as well. That
Oh
one
my
went stupid viral.
Yeah, the Joe Exotic thing, that was crazy.
Yeah.
And Charlotte as Carol Baskin.
How is that relationship between you having two creative sisters? Do y'all fight sometimes, like bad?
We don't fight ever. I think we're such a chill household and just like I can't be bothered fighting. We'll have like creative clashes sometimes, I guess.
Sure.
If we like both want to do the same look and I'm like, I thought of it before you. That's like the only thing.
Go to your room, leave me alone. Well, thank you, Abby, and we will talk soon. So good talking to you.
You too. Bye.